Okay, we're back at Gen Con 2015 with Brian Fisher, publisher with Nevermore Games, and we're going to take a look at Dark Dealings. It's supposed to come out Q1-ish 2016. So Brian, tell us about the game.
Sure, so in Dark Dealings is a card game for 1 to 6 players, playable in 15 to 20 minutes. It has 108 cards in the base game. There's also expansion content, and this little guy, this little token here, it's actually pretty thick. And what you're doing in the game thematically is players are Dark Lords, and you've managed to upset the locals to such a degree with your shenanigans that they have gotten a group of heroes together. They're mustering heroes, and they're sending them to your dark castle to evict you. So essentially what you're doing in the game is everyone is their own Dark Lord in their own dark castle, and you're trying to become the last Dark Lord evicted. You're trying to survive. In order to do that, you need to get defenses to defeat the heroes with that come at you, and through a fun little 3-phase system, you're actually going to kind of consult your magic ball in the bottom of these cards right here. You're essentially going to get to pick the heroes that you're going to have to face, and the heroes have a defense value. They have, these icons are what they're vulnerable to, so some are vulnerable to only two, some are vulnerable to only 1, and then there's some that are vulnerable to all 3. Okay. And this is spells, minions, and traps. And then in addition, in the bottom left-hand corner is the challenge value, the challenge rating. And the challenge rating is what you use in the second phase of the game to get these defenses. So essentially everybody gets dealt 9 cards, you draft, you pick 2 and pass the rest. So you just kind of pick 2 and you pass them. And you keep on doing that until you had a hand of 8 total heroes and discarding the last card. Then during the second phase, a number of defenses would go out equal to twice the number of players, and these are the defenses you're going to use to defeat these heroes. So you'll recognize these symbols here. On the Berserker, for instance, you have this magic symbol, so only magic cards can actually defeat that Berserker. In addition, there are some wild defenses in the game that can hit for any type. There's also defenses that change type. This one starts as magic and becomes a trap and then a minion as you rotate it as you use it. And there are also defense types that will put the hero away, put it on the bottom of your deck and draw the next one so you can kind of stall and see if you can deal with it better later. And what you do is during that round, all players are going to pick 2 of the cards out of their hand, they're going to put them face down, and then you'll all simultaneously flip. The player who has the highest challenge value, so in this case if 46 was the highest at the table, I'd get to pick one of my defenses first. So I'd say, okay, I'll take this one and add it to my tableau and just flip this card over. The next player would go, they would take something, next player would take something. Ultimately you get back to me, and I would do that again and I would grab something. And you do that until you have 8 defenses. So when you go into the third phase, you're going to have a bunch of defenses in front of you, and you flip in player order, or you can do this simultaneously too once you're familiar with the game. You'll flip a hero, and now you have to defeat that hero. So in this case with this hero, I've got to get 6 worth only minion defenses, right? So in this particular case, a knight, I can actually hit him twice with the same card. Normally you can only do it once. And so I could just rotate this spell book twice, which discards it, and he's gone. He's flipped over, and I would go into my next one on my next turn. And you would just keep on doing that around in the game. And the heroes are all different. There's 6 different types, and they all do different abilities, and they have, I'll show you 1 or 2. The Berserkers are kind of crazy. They break everything that they touch or that you strike them with. The Rangers are just better than average overall, and otherwise are just relatively pesky. The Halflings you have to defeat twice, and there's more, and there's also expansion heroes. So, you know, in the end, it's the last player standing, or if everybody gets evicted, then it's the player who got evicted with the most defenses left is the winner of the game, and you can just play it again.
Okay. Great, thanks Brian.
Sure.